I'm Mark Oya.
And I'm Steve Stanford, and this is Art You Can Drive.
Today on Art You Can Drive, we have a really cool 1970 Oldsmobile 442. What do you think, Steve?
Kind of like right in thick in the middle of the whole muscle car era, and it was a couple of years before things got really hairy, and then the government had to step in. But this is still the cool era. This is the car everybody wanted. Drive-in cruising or drag strip bruising. That's kind of the way it was back then.
Well, and that's the thing, and it's a little bit of a unique car. This is a Chip Foose design car, so it's obviously got some unique twists to it that are super cool. And this is, to me, a luxury cruiser.
Yes.
The Oldsmobile line was a higher line car.
Oh yeah, it was a step up from from your common Chevys and Pontiacs and that sort of thing. But yet it wasn't as high as the Buicks and Cadillacs, obviously. But for muscle, oh yeah, you can have your cake and eat it too with comfort and performance.
Well, that's the thing, and so they stuck a wicked hood on it and put a big wing on the back.
Sure.
And put some graphics on it, and they turned this car into, a muscle car.
Well, the cool thing is it's still wolf in sheep's clothing, because if you think about Oldsmobile's reputation, this is normally like your physician or your attorney or that kind of thing. And yet the kid could have an Oldsmobile with all the inherent luxury and power and all that, but it's such a lower profile platform than, say, the GTO,
right?
Which the GTO basically says, "Hey, officer, arrest me," type of. But I know that was part of the fun, but still, this is where you can have your fun and still be safe.
Well, that's the thing, and there's just enough unique features on these cars on the Oldsmobile to make it look a little bit different. Where you see it coming and it's an Oldsmobile and it's unique. And really, I don't know that there's that many of these left anymore.
No, and I tell you what, from the art standpoint, I like the fact that this is just before the big government bumpers, were mandated, in '73, and it's still got that nice tight design to it to go along with the swoopy lines. I mean, there's not really a lot of fat on the car.
Right.
It's. Well, I want to say voluptuous, but truthfully, it is evocative. Let's put it like that. And yet, it's still taut enough to where it doesn't get in the way of the high performance aspect of it. It's not a big barge.
Well, that's the thing, and I think Chip, he really enhanced this car with the graphics. They're a homage to the original graphics.
Well, he knew what to accent and what to leave put. I mean, and Chip's he's a master of that. And I admire his work, and what he did to this, part of restyling is knowing when to stop. It's just as important as knowing what to add. And this car, I think, was done just right.
Well, that's the thing. Even the wheels, you take a look at the wheels, and they're a version of the factory wheel, but upsized into a larger size. So brings them into the modern era.
Right.
But they still look correct and everything. So outside, obviously a beautiful car. So let's take a look under the hood.
Yeah, and I like the hood scoop design too. I mean, they were still, it got the job done. But what's bitching about it is that it said does it its own unique way about making that statement.
Well, it's actually an aggressive hood when you think about it. It's got two big snorkels.
Oh, it's definitely in your face.
It looks cool. So 455. And what I like about the 455 is that they sat around and came up with a name, and Rocket.
Oh, well, that Rocket, I mean, that goes back to an old Chuck Berry song from back in the early 50s, Rocket 88.
Yeah.
And they just zoomed on that, and smartly enough, they kept that whole image in that, and it just kind of lasted down through the years.
Yeah.
What I'm digging on, too, is the fact that for a factory hot rod, and it's got the chrome accents. The other muscle cars of that era, they did the same thing, but they knew the kids were going to change and add a few chrome details in that. They just kind of beat them to it. But you knew instantly when you lifted the hood that this thing was also about fun and performance.
This is a really clean looking engine compartment, which is kind of a trend, and nice and simple and clean. The engine's painted the stripe color, which is a really nice detail.
Absolutely.
And it's a great driving car. So this is Art You Can Drive.
Well, you know what that means.